enjoyed every minute of it. Okay, only 1 point, but it moved us away from the bottom, and if we move 1 point away from the bottom for every game this season, we'll be in the playoffs. Joking, but it's significant. I'd just like to congratulate the owners on waking up and smelling the coffee and getting rid of a man who's had no credentials at all for being a football manager. None at all. Uh, this business about getting a famous name in, complete and utter rubbish. Strangely enough, I sat next to some Americans on the train to the game, which only took me 7.5 hours because of landslips in Haddon and whatever. And I said, "Excuse me," I said, "the Americans," I said, "Can I ask a question? Have you ever heard of Wayne Rooney?" And they said, "Pardon?" And I said, "Oh, it's all right. You've told me all I need to know." Now, the game itself, cracker, an absolute cracker. Very, very disappointed to concede the goal from the corner. The guy was unmarked. The ball travelled 10 or 12 yards from the head. It wasn't like he headed it in from a yard. There was plenty of opportunity to prevent that goal. But in line with the exciting game that it was, almost immediately Dembele broke away and completely outpaced the Swansea defence and slotted it in the corner. Thank you very much, 1-1. Now, at that point, we should have been 3 up. And by half time, we probably should have been 5 up. But as I've said, we know our weakness is it's finishing, and we bombarded their goal. That the ball hit people up the backside, went out for a corner. The goalkeeper made a couple of good saves. We had a wonderful overhead kick from the Hogue, who had a decent game. You know, he looked a different player, and a lot of the team looked, you know, back to their enthusiastic best. They weren't perfect, but they were at it. Now, the second half started, and I'm afraid Mr. Dembele certainly blotted his copybook. He was 1-on-1 with the keeper in the penalty area, 10 yards from goal, and he managed to hit the keeper, and that would have been 2-1, and we would have been flying. Instead, they broke away, and in their second shot of the game, after about, I don't know what it was, 50 minutes or so, perhaps a bit longer, and they put a cross in, and the guy nips in front of Sanderson and slots it home. Very good goal, but you're thinking, well, if we'd scored 100% of our shots, the game would be beyond them by now. But it wasn't to be, and we stuck at it. We did go a bit long at times, but we still stuck to trying to play football and try and play football through them rather than over them. And eventually, after he'd made 3 substitutions, Mr. Mowbray, one has to say, what did he expect of the 3 he brought on? They put 2 strikers up, replaced our 2 strikers with 2 more strikers. It never looked like scoring. But JJ left on the bench, came on and hit one of his specials, right foot shot from the corner of the box, 6 inches inside the far post. Get that out. It was a superb finish. Uh, we could have perhaps nicked it at the end. We they the appalling referee gave us an extra 8 minutes. Um, well, I'll come on to him in a minute. And we ended up 2-2. The crowd went home happy. Um, I took another 8 hours to get home and put the key in the door at midnight, chuffed to death, but tired. Now then, what was different? Well, first of all, the crowd was the crowd was on the manager's side. So we start with that. That helps. Uh, and the team put in a display worthy of the name. Um, an exciting game. What more could you ask for? Uh, we were refereed out of the game by some absolutely unbelievable decisions. He's invented a new rule, this referee, that if you've got the ball between your legs and the opposition are kicking the ball up your backside or raking your legs, you've committed the foul. Now, it didn't lead to anything, but that was the type of decisions he was making. And he booked five of our blokes. Uh, to three of theirs. He gave them 21 fouls compared to our 11, and yet we still managed to nearly break even on the possession. If you have 21 free kicks, you're going to have a lot of possession, especially when most of these free kicks are tippy tappies round their own box. And so we were fighting a losing battle with this bloke. He was awful. And these two lines, well, certainly the linesman on my side, on the main stand side, didn't know what day of the week it was. Their goal, their goal was offside. Second goal was offside. No doubt about it. Uh, if we'd have been VAR, it would have been chalked off. Now then, another thing, when we had our double chances, goalkeeper pulled off a blinding save, and then the ball rebounded to somebody else. They smashed it in, and it hit a defender. Well, VAR would have looked at that and may well, and I think probably decided that the bloke uh, had handled the ball. Now, in reality, in the real rules, in the rules of football, a bloke that gets blasted at the ball at from 5 yards and it knocks him over uh, while he's trying to protect his eating two veg, shall we say? That's not a penalty. But VAR slows it down and says it is. Now, I'm not advocating VAR. I don't want Birmingham City Football Club to be subjected to VAR. I really don't. I don't think it'll do us any good. We complain about referees' decisions and what would be and what wouldn't be, but VAR, we don't want it. Right. So, Mr. Mowbray started well. He speaks well. He's an intelligent man. He's an intelligent man, and he's an intelligent football man. Uh, he ain't charismatic. He ain't a Barry Fry, certainly, but he's a thinker, and he's a doer, and he knows what he's doing. Um, uh, and it's good to have that hand on the rudder, steady. Somebody who has some idea of what they're doing, as opposed to the previous incumbent who hadn't a Scooby. Okay, now then, we've got a cup match on Tuesday night. Be interesting to see what team he puts out. He needs to see people in action. Um, Bakuna hasn't started the last two games. JJ hasn't started the last two games. Bielik, right, who again he gets a little bit of stick. What does he do? What does he do? Well, I watched yesterday because I had a thing about what happened at Hull, and he does not give the ball away. He may pass it square, he may pass it backwards, but he mops these things up. He gets the ball off the opposition and gives it to us. Now, there weren't any wonder-telling passes yesterday. The opportunity didn't rise, but I watched in awe. Every time he got the ball, he passed it to one of our blokes. And if it wasn't a telling pass, very often in the old Barry Ferguson style, he would get the ball further up the field and make another pass that went to ours. Whereas in the past few weeks, we've been like Dr. Bernardo's, giving everything away, and you can't defend that all the time. Anyway, I'm chuffed to death. I'm cold as hell, but I want to wish the ladies the best of luck in their cup match this afternoon against Burnley. I'm trying to find a way whether I can see it. Good luck, girls. The team the other side of the city got knocked out, so it will be a nice little feather in your cap if you can get through this round. And while you know who ain't in the team, ain't in the cup. Anyway, God bless you all. See you Tuesday night. I was just sitting here in my cold bed with a blanket on, watching the game for St Andrews. God bless you all.